on the phone, like old-timey radio.
Right?
Good morning, Malcolm.
Hello, you young whippersnappers.
Yes, just so we're keeping track. Our video doesn't work and my microphone. But other than that,
Well, yeah.
we're here.
Well, I mean, we're on TV. It's just the Zoom computer.
Yes, Malcolm
and
Nance.
we sound great.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do.
Malcolm Nance's handsomeness is entirely lost, but you'll have to go from memory. Malcolm, can I
yes.
just say we played? That was Jamie Raskin, but I got an email from someone that said they watched Fox News just to watch over the weekend, just how everybody else is talking about worldwide financial Armageddon, on and on. They said Fox News is talking about how Donald Trump has brought a great peace between Russia and Ukraine. I mean, this is how we got here, right? Some people are just in a complete disinformation bubble.
They are, and in fact, what I saw yesterday, while the entire world was melting down on part due, Fox News was going on and on about transgendered athletes.
Yeah.
The whole day. This is absolutely amazing. I don't know what would happen if the two transgendered athletes were to withdraw from competition and not getting place in a swimming competition. If they all did a giant Rubik's wall and just said, hey, we're just not going to participate to stop the destruction of the less than half of 1% American people, the Republicans would have to have a meltdown. They'd have to reelect Joe Biden very quickly and make sure that there's something else to rage about. Other than we just went through and are now going through the second wave of an economic Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I right. You actually said that economic Pearl Harbor. Did Laura Loomer and Trump deliberately gut NSA leadership to cover for the plan to destroy the global economy? I do a deep dive rant into how blinding NSA could help Trump and Russia smash the global stability we all need. I mean, Malcolm, just to say more about all of that, because I feel like at this point, if you don't get that this seems deliberate, then you're not paying attention.
Well, I'm going to say things here because I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. But Laura Loomer is absolutely a conspiracy theorist. She's literally a 9/11 truther nut that has somehow influenced her way back into the White House, where she was rejected. You were about 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, and now she's back in with a vengeance. But let me explain something to you. Of all the U.S. intelligence agencies that are the most loyal, most loyal, and the one that will not stand for any shenanigans, it's the National Security Agency. It's commissioned to collect signals intelligence, telemetry intelligence, cyber information, and they share about the United States government, but they only target foreign powers. However, they also, in cooperation with the Department of Commerce and other agencies, support the U.S. economic interest, which means that when they copy a stock market ticker in Moscow, they are collecting and get early information that where the United States could gain advantage in the market.
Yeah.
Somehow, Laura Loomer into the White House. 3 of the top National Security Council careerists, and then 2 days later, director of NSA, General Hawk, and deputy director, Deputy Dernza, as we call her, a career professional officer who had been there for over 20 years. This is the deliberate knowledge of how America's cryptologic scripts, code breaking, and intercepting communications for our advantage were in the heads of these two people. Right. What did Trump want them to see? Because it would come across their desk. It would absolutely come across their desk if they saw unusual trading of American billionaires, Russian oligarchs against the sanctions, or if personal influence or phone calls were being made between Moscow and them. These guys are going at it. There's no hiding from NSA. And then suddenly Loomer walks into the office and they're firing the top 2 breakers in America.
And Malcolm,
this armed us for Russia.
Yeah.
Can I ask why there appears to be one Republican that's saying anything about that. Representative Don Bacon, Republican, Nebraska, slammed
Yeah,
Trump's
Don
decision,
Bacon.
to fire the director of the NSA and his top deputy after demands from Laura Loomer, saying China and Russia are laughing at us. He said, "I will tell you, this puts us back. It hurts us. Russia and China today are laughing at us because we just fired the absolute best leaders, the most qualified guys that we spent 3.5 decades preparing to have this role, and he's gone." That's the only Republican.
I'm telling you something. Yeah. Big one. I went there one time, and I found out he was actually he's poised to defect. And if he could bring 3 more Republicans, he would be the greatest hero in American history since Abraham, because he would flip the House back under the control of the Democrats.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at you, Don Big.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Do something for your country. Switch parties.
Disarming.
Switch parties. Get our country back. So I got to...
Don't you even have to switch parties. You could become 4 independents who are caucus with the Democrats.
Right.
And suddenly Jeffries would become the Speaker of the House. And all of it be unraveled. I would appoint his butt right to the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Because this guy cares about America.
Yep.
Neither cares about himself or Donald Trump.
Let me tell you about another firing that is right up your alley as a seaman, a Navy man. U.S. Navy Vice... Can I just say that straight white guys seem to be all the F-ups right now in the Trump administration? U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatfield, the only woman on NATO's military committee, was fired over the weekend. They said it was apparently tied to comments she made that supported diversity. Oh, eek!
Oh, no! God forbid.
In the force. She's the 3rd top female officer to be fired since Trump took office. She apparently, are you ready, Malcolm, posted supportive comments about a diversity summit and gave a speech on Women's Equality Day, saying that investing in empowering women can unlock human potential. Dear God. She also was quoted as saying, diversity is our strength. Our diversity is our strength. Oh, my God. Well, she had to go. She just, FYI, master's degree from Harvard, deployed to the Persian Gulf as a pilot, later served as senior military assistant to the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe, awarded a Bronze Star. Go on, Malcolm. Your thoughts.
Yeah, obviously a suck and a loser, right?
Yeah.
Look, what's called DEI, right? Diversity, equity, equality, and inclusion in the military. We call teamwork. Teamwork. And we want everyone, no matter who you are. Okay, Alan Turing in World War II, when it was against the law, was gay, and he broke all of the code that saved hundreds of thousands of people their lives. Right? I want that in a room. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you love. I don't care what you do after work. You will in the office, and I want the best out of you. Obviously, a woman who was deprived of a penis is grounds for firing out these days.
Yep.
This is stupidity. It's almost as if everyone who works in the White House, the Pentagon, and the right wing works for Moscow. We are disarming ourselves.
Yeah.
We are engaged from this. She was the best of the best to the point she gave that speech 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, you spoke out and said that diversity is good. You're a woman, and you got you're flying F-18s, bombing our enemy. You should be, in the kitchen. You're out.
Yep.
This is a disgrace. I swear.
I loved your repost. Am I depressed because of what's happening, or am I depressed because of the people who somehow didn't see it coming? Both. It's both.
Yeah.
Yes. And let's go.
Yeah.
Just your retweets about the Supreme Court. Justice Roberts is using his arm to shield his face from the leopard. Surely the arm will be enough food, and the leopard will retreat. I mean, he retweeted, sending anyone from this country to a foreign gulag, particularly without a court hearing, should rightfully end a presidency, full stop. And then our friend Allison Gill, who said the Supreme Court took 6 months to decide immunity, 6 days to effectively strip the rest of us of due process. I mean, I guess the Associated Press, will take the wins where we can get them, right? Uh-oh.
No.
You got to take the win you get. I say go day by day, right?
Yeah.
You cannot take a ball view of this administration. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you got to know for the last couple of months I've been hearing that something's coming.
Yeah.
Well, something's coming. There's a new political action committee When you see it,
Oh,
you will know it.
okay.
And
Well,
it's intended
Nice.
yeah, I was
to
going to
throw
say.
a hard baseball straight at the head of our opponents.
Good.
Okay, good. I was going to say, Malcolm, we were saying, I don't know what's distracting from what anymore. Like, is the worldwide financial meltdown to distract from Signalgate? And then this just yesterday, Trump administration thinking about bombing Mexico. Current and U.S., former and current U.S. military
Using
officials
drones.
who spoke with NBC said communication between the White House and the Defense Department, intelligence officials have included a discussion of drone strikes on cartels and their networks in Mexico. I mean, he talks about bombing Iran like, like it's clipping his nails. I mean, it's, and this one, your most terrifying post this week, you said, I'm headed to Greenland. Help fund my film documentary and military geopolitical study of how Trump might invade Greenland. Oh, dear Jesus.
God.
Malcolm, what do we need to be worried about first, do you think?
Well, first, if the hotel in Greenland,
Yeah,
have to
right.
stay in an igloo. Not joking, but no, we have got a lot on plate. I've got to tell you, since the economic Pearl Harbor that's been launched, and now today I understand where China is now seeing 84%
Yes.
increases in tariffs against America.
Yes.
These products are actually going to cost you 250%. The things that came from Temu and your Team Etsy and things like that. But what we have to watch out for is this. Donald Trump is prepared this week to use force against Iran if they don't see his demands. There are those B-2 bombers in Diego Garcia, which, by the way, was tariffed, and we taxed our own base. And there's this entire thing where we were Washington Post a week ago. There is an actual plan that has been ordered to develop a financial assessment of how much it would cost to seize land, take over the health, welfare, and security of the 57,000 people there. That's ordered by the White House.
Yeah.
Any one of these things could become, because Donald Trump is a subject from the fact that he has just destroyed the global market. So
Yeah.
I'm going to Greenland. I'm going to tell you guys, usually I don't know these things in advance. I just show up there. This one I have to bring a local crew. Greenland's out there. So if you want to help the GoFundMe, we're going to do an assessment of how America is going to have to invade Greenland.
Oh, my God.
Going to have to invade it. This is where you fly in 6 cops and you say you're in charge. There's 57,000 people, 30,000 of them have rifles. Mind
Malcolm,
even talking about it.
we're going to have to cut this short because this interview is even more terrifying, and then we can only hear every other word.
Yeah.
Even every other word is terrifying, but we will get our video working again.
Yes.
And we have linked to all your stuff.
right.
Sorry about that. Your shouting on the phone doesn't work as well as video, but we love you, and we'll see you next week. Okay?
Thanks, Malcolm.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Next week.
Yep.
Okay. All right.